While I'm waiting for the brake parts, I got to get the brake booster. I got the rest, but I'm going to go ahead and get this hood pad off. I got another one to put on there, so going to take this one off. I like to cover everything up with this, just this, I don't even know, masking paper, and just use some painter's tape, and I just kind of paint it on the body like that. Just be really careful when you take it off, you know, nice and slow. And I don't really keep it on there for very long. It's not going to take too long to get this off. And so once this is off, and I'm happy with it, then I'll pull this paper off and put up the real thing. So there's going to be lots of stuff that falls down, and then just got to get the shop vac out and you know, clean up whatever falls on here. I'm using this plastic piece I got from Laminex. I got it from my 126 years ago. And so basically just kind of take it off in pieces here. Just push down very lightly and it'll come off in strips. So if you just go for it and use your hand or whatever, it's this stuff just falls apart as you touch it. So really nasty. And then yeah, you won't be able to get all the adhesive off unless you really spend some time. I usually just get it as much as I can off. I'll hit it with water, soapy water, and then after that's dry, I just use some isopropyl alcohol, clean that area really good, and then that's when I get out the adhesive. Alright, just finished getting it up there. So this is one of those things that just really sucks. But when it's done, it looks good. I use a 3M super trim adhesive. There's the part number. It's 8090. That's what you want. Super trim adhesive. So you spray it on the hood first. Cover the hood pretty generously. And then you can get the hood pad. I actually just laid the hood pad out here. And there's only a little bit of overspray on accident, but I'll probably replace that part or take it out and clean it. And then I got my wife to help me, so she just held it in place while I put it and fit it in this side. And then I started just fitting it going across. And now I'm just going to hand fit it. You can see I kind of started on the right side. You can see the crossbar. I'm going to go and just use my hands to push it all over, make sure the adhesive's in there real good. But basically you spray the hood first, spray the hood pad, make sure each one is tacky when you touch it, and then go for it. Looking good. So yeah, when I went over this with that super adhesive trim, I basically used about 75% of the can. So I like to, I've had great success. There's my SL, which I did this on too. The SL is roughly the same. There's a bunch of retaining clips or pieces that go at the top. And so yeah, with this one, there's no actual clips or rivets or whatever, that's the word I was looking for, at the top. It's just one straight piece. This one's, you know, probably since it's diesel and it's got really hot exhaust and engine gets hot, it's got that heat shield area. Maybe all of them do, I don't know. So for the next 10-15 minutes, I'm just going to kind of go over it and just keep applying pressure on there so that it has the best chance of sticking. And there's times where you can definitely hear where it didn't make good contact and it's sticking on there again. So you just want to keep doing that for about 10 or 15 minutes. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but after that you can kind of walk away from it. I'm just going to leave the hood in the air like this for the rest of the day. While the hood pad is curing, I basically just got out the floor jack. I'm going to slide it under there and get the front end up in the air. And I got some parts here. So my wife got this for Christmas. Got new rotors for the front. I got some new brake lines, new set of pads, sensors, all the brake grease there. So gonna get that knocked out so that when I go and finally get the brake booster, maybe next week, then it's all ready to go. Yeah, I got the caliper off, and to do that just had to get these bolts off right here. So right there, right here, there's they're 13 millimeter, and then you just got to counter hold them with a 15 millimeter. So you just kind of have to hold on to this part right here. Hold on to that pin, and then start turning the 13 millimeter to get it off. And then that caliper comes loose, and then usually you would just kind of stick it right here, or the right way to do it is to hang it somewhere. Yeah, I undid the brake wear sensor after taking that off. That's kind of a weird looking piece. Basically it goes in the brake pad. After that stuff's off, I just took the brake line. So the brake line is right here, the old one. And the bottom is pretty easy. Yeah, it's 14 millimeter. And then the top one, you have to kind of use a flare wrench to hold on where it goes to the hard line. Hold that side good, and then you counter hold it, or you turn it with a 17. So you do that, and you get this end loose, which is like a female end. And yeah, the new one will be really nice. Definitely important. I mean, this car's got 400,000 miles on it, so there's just going to be a lot of these parts. You know, I'll get to them, and we'll get her back on the road. Okay, so this part here that the caliper attaches to, there's just a 19 millimeter right here. So this one just broke it loose. There's another one right up here. Get that loose too. Then you just take this part off. Then we can finally do the rotor. I already kind of broke it loose, so. All right, there it is. Just need to put some Loctite, some blue Loctite on that before putting it back on. And then here she is. Brakes on the 124 are pretty easy. So I probably put way too much brake grease on there, but whatever, I don't care. Yeah, so you just kind of like, it rested in this little piece, so that's pretty nice. I think I've only really done it on older like W126. So yeah, there's not that little crossbar with the 2 pins and all that stuff. This one is way easier. And then I just need to get the caliper back on there and get that plugged back into the brake wear sensor. So there's the new brake wear sensor right there. And yeah, it'll be good. So yeah, on the rear one, I just put it through on this side. So okay, I got everything figured out. I'm not a professional YouTuber, so I'm just leaving this part unconnected. I actually went and put the caliper back on, and so you know, you have to squeeze and push that piston down real hard, and then it's going to pee all over you. Yeah, I got that back on. Put those 13 millimeter nuts back on, or bolts I mean, and yeah, got that closed. So now I'm just getting this line on here. It's a lot easier to turn when it's here on the assembly. I can get a lot more leverage and than me standing on top of this. So yeah, I'm gonna get this down. Let's see if I can show. I'm using a line wrench so I don't strip it. And yeah, I gotta get rid of that. Gotta tighten it down until it's not flush, but pretty close. Yeah, my camera sucks. But there's still at least like 4 or 5 millimeters left, so I'm gonna keep cranking on it, and then I think it's good. And yeah, right now my master cylinder's blown out, so it's not like I can test them or actuate the brakes or anything like that. So I'll just get this part sorted out here, which is a number 14, and then up here I'll get that one sorted. That's the number 17. You hold it with the 17, then you turn it with an 11 line wrench. Yeah, something else fun happened while I'm here. Just part of working on an old car. So the wear sensor just straight up broke off. I noticed it just kind of dangling, and it was only connected by the rubber actually. So I'm just gonna peel this back, use some butt connectors on here, and then heat shrink wrap it, and then that should be back in good shape again. Alright, well I got one side done today, so it's not perfect. There's a I was putting the brake line back on to the bottom part where it attaches to the caliper, and use a 14 millimeter, and so that one I gave it everything I got with a flare wrench or line wrench basically, and even with that it rounded off the corners. So it's a little weird. Like, this car has got, it's a 1987, but it's got a 129 part number for the brake line in the front. I'm guessing there's something there different with either the thread, like the how tall it is taller than the 124. But I mean, I really got it in there. I'm pretty happy with that. And then the other thing that happened was the wear sensor was when you follow the line back, even though, you know, I put the wear sensor in place and all that stuff, the actual wire itself was cut, and it was only attached by the rubber. So I had to go and splice that, put some butt connectors on there, and then put a rubber tubing over it. Um, it's an okay solution. I'll have to see if that part's available. And here's what it looks like right now. So I just kind of got this area all empty, and I'll wash it really good once I actually get the brake booster, so you can see in the cabin. And yeah, the hood pen came out great. So yeah, I basically just left it alone, and now that it's been up for long enough, it's been up basically all day, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop the hood, close up the car, call it good for now. And let's see if you can see the hack that I did. Yeah, there you go, you can see it. There's the hack that I did. It works. It's the electrical connector's there, so I'll try to find a new part there. And then here you can see what I mean by the brake line, where it attaches. I mean, I got it within 3 millimeters, maybe less, 2 millimeters, but you can see at least one thread on there. So yeah, and it's rounded. This is great. So I just went to go close the hood up, and it was having trouble, so I just kind of didn't do it that hard, but then this thing just flew out. So yeah, boy, this is just a great day.